All right, so we're going to start off right here with your readings. Don't know if you're going to be able to get a good view of all of it, but, well, I mean, you'll get a good view of all of it, just not of, you might not be able to read it, but it'll be there. After I'm done hooking everything up, I will take the camera off the tripod. Hello. Hello, hello. All right. So what we're doing is we're hooking up the meter to our trifilar coil. Then we're going to start extending that coil from there. So this part of the coil is not directly hooked to the power supply. So I can hook both ends to the meter. We got SG output, lighting up the light. You know, it doesn't look like we're getting any. But see, our spikes are 12 spikes, basically. Let's zoom in on that a little bit. See, that's awesome. Oh, what happened there? Huh. There it is. All right, and then I have two of those hooked up to this wheel, so we can turn this one on too. Boom, boom. So we got two outputs right now. About 12 volts AC output on that one strand. It's a 22 gauge strand. It's a 22 gauge strand. That's quite a bit of output for a 22 gauge strand. If it's only magnetic induction, which it isn't. It's totally, the SSG is totally electrifying that wire. So, I mean, without the power being on, we still get about 3 volts, 4 volts. When the power's on, that wire gets electrified. At least that's what I like to call it. So I got these extra long ones, which I'm trying not to use right now. I'm going to start linking in series these coils that are lined up around here. Okay. So we're going to disconnect this one, and we're just going to hook them up one at a time and see what the readings are. So this one goes into the start of this one, which would be labeled 1. And then this clip down here is going to clip into the other side of that coil. It's 8 strands of 26 at 333 turns, and 2 strands of 32. And they're all linked in series. Yes, it is a power generator transformer, kind of both. So let's see what we get for hooking up that coil into the series circuit. Oh man, did it just die on me? I think it did. Oh man. Let me hold it off for a little bit. I'm gonna have to unplug my phone, plug back in the well, maybe there's an alternative. Let me check real quick. Oh, nice. Got something. It's a really nice one too. It's a USB 3 connector. Exactly what I need. Let's see if it'll go on. Nope. So we're gonna have to charge this for a little bit while we mess around with SSG. I have to come all the way down here. But at least I got an extension. All right, get it going real quick. Let's see when it kicks in. I still hear it going at like 1.7. I don't know if it'll keep going. It's already going pretty fast for 1.7. I have to get some sunglasses. See, so when I turn it on like this, the reading on the meter for this exponential, like this third strand, changes. So that way you know that yeah, just the power makes all the difference in what's going through the wire there. See, this right here is SSG. And when I'm done hooking up these strands and doing all the meter readings that I want to do, this light will light off of the induction. The electromagnetic induction, which is basically the imprint of the magnet on the copper. And that force is like so mystical that it leaves an imprint on the copper, and we call it electricity. No, and that's over and over simplification. Um, but that is basically what we're doing here. I want to get you guys a better angle of this, a better view. I see what you see, and it's not like, what am I looking at? I also want to have enough to move around without kicking stuff. And then if I zoom, because of the orientation, if I zoom in, all the stuff gets knocked out. Hey, Mike. How's it going, Mike? Later, after I'm done hooking it up. Well, I could do it right now since we're in a hiatus. I could definitely do it now. Get you an overhead view of the rotor. Hold on, I'm caught on something. All right. Right now the power is off. This is working on flywheel application. Pretty cool. All right, so there's our first SSG hookup from the K Energy store. Got our load, our output. Got our two power supplies over here, one for each SSG. Got another SSG, another output. You can hear it rev up a little. You got to put at least like 10 volts in, I think. Yeah, right here is like 9.5. The light is barely on. If you want any kind of decent output on the 100-watt LED, you got to turn it up to at least 12. I can't wait to see what that oscilloscope reading is going to look like with this coil added on to that series circuit. Right now, I don't know. It's just flywheeling right now. I haven't hooked it up to charge itself yet, or I don't even know if that'll work the way I would do it. But right now, it's just moving on flywheel application. It's no power either way from power supply or itself, and it's slowly dwindling, but it's actually pretty good flywheel. Actually, it's an ongoing experiment. Sometimes we go down that road where we try and hook it back into itself to see if it will elongate the amount of motion. Most of the time it does not. Sometimes it does spin for a little bit while longer, but it doesn't spin forever anytime that I've tried. And even to calculate that, yeah, to calculate it and for it to happen are two different universes pretty much. Because if we just did by what we could calculate, everything is possible and has been done before. That's the truth. So, I mean, because there's so many variables once you get it going, even if you build it exactly to spec, there's always a chance something could go wrong, you know? But if it went perfectly, who knows? Who knows? You'd never know, even if you built it. But I don't know, maybe that's not the point. Who would know? Maybe that's not the point of the intrigue and all that about this stuff. Like, can it move forever? Will it move forever? Is the power on or off? I don't even know anymore, man. This is moving quite a bit. It's definitely off. Definitely off. But here, let's go through the coils that we have up on the spread here for the rotor. The stator coils are a 3-filer coil right here, tri-filer, with 20 gauge, 32 gauge, and 22 gauge. The 20 gauge and 32 gauge are hooked up as a trigger and the drive. Yeah, I'm absolutely. You can use solar to run this. Whether or not you're going to get a battery to last all night to run this, I don't know. Maybe they exist. But I know you're not running this on a 12-volt battery all night. I mean the kind that I use though. I don't mean like a bigger SLA type battery. I mean like the kind that I use. They're just little 12-volt battery packs like that big. And they run for quite a while, but they won't go all night. Not for this. Something this size anyway. Now, like a little tiny one, I've seen on Lid Motor, man. He makes the best freaking little motors. Those things are awesome. I mean, I even right now I half suspect that the coils, the way they are spread on the board, that like when a magnet passes in front, especially that big one over there, this one right here, especially when a magnet passes in front of that one, before it crosses the entire thing, you've already started to expel energy that you've created through the coil out the one end. And I mean, like, since there's no draw on it, it's not going to happen in any substantial quantity, but I'm sure there's a flow there from the start to finish of the coil just from a magnet passing in front of it. And it does depend greatly on which way it's going, though, I would assume. Like if all the coils suggest you go counterclockwise, then you should spin it counterclockwise, and it will spin more than what if you spin it the other way. Kind of act more like a brake going the other way. Uh, well, I mean, yes. Right now we're just watching it spin because I'm trying to charge up that meter down there, and then we're gonna hook some stuff up to this thing that I don't know. You might be able to call it like free energy or over unity energy or some kind of energy that you wouldn't normally have if you didn't build it a certain way. And right today, we're just addressing the coils. Having tri-filer coils in a Bedini circuit is awesome. Okay, it's just really cool because you get virtually an extension of the energy that's coming from the power supply times two. Okay, you get it from the third strand and you get it from the Bedini output. Because it's more like a transformer though with the third strand. because you get the interaction of the trigger coil and the drive coil. When that interacts, when that turns on, here, let's just, there, you can hear that, I think. There, it's on now. Now, when I hook up, maybe not this coil, I think I'll get about maybe 10 volts from this coil, and it's at 14.1. But it's a 20 gauge coil, man. You don't get, 10 volts at this speed from a 20 gauge coil from magnetic induction. It doesn't happen. You get a lot less than that. You get about 4, maybe 4. And it's got to be going fast. Like at least 300, 400 RPMs fast. Not like super duper fast where you're using for a car or anything. But just, fast enough to play with. You know what I mean? And then this one over here, this is a trifilar, and then 180 is a trifilar as well. And each Bedini circuit is hooked up thusly. And then you got this coil, the big coil over there, and this coil on the other cardinal direction. There's a soft iron core involved, so you get a little bit more from that. How do you do that? I hear people talking about tapping into the ambient energy. How do you do that? All right, I'm going to hang this up so I can kind of get started for a little bit. Just hang it up right here. Sorry. There we go. Oh, resonance. Yeah. Let me show you something. Well, maybe I can show you. I don't know. I can make a spherical magnet spin on this pretty much indefinitely as long as the power's on. It's got a resonance. The spherical on that coil has a resonance of 12 hertz. And I mean, if you're talking about 369, it's not as easy as it sounds. I don't have any idea how to do that. You're talking about a frequency or a resistance rating or any of that. And I'm doing this without it. So, I mean, maybe eventually down the road I'll bump into it. Yeah, I'll check them out. That Legacy? Is that how it's pronounced? Legacy? Yeah, I mean, resonance and use like, a cascading wave of entropy that will change everything it touches. Waka! All right. Well, not legacy, but legacy. What's up, Rye? I love how this thing is moving though. I mean, that is pretty spectacular considering I turned the power off. Like, we've been having a conversation for like 5 minutes, 6 minutes, maybe longer. That's a pretty good momentum too. That's pretty good. Oh, I did turn the power on once or twice, I think. I'm about to do it again. So I'm just messing around, giving it a little bit more time to charge up because we got to use the meter for a few minutes. And then I'm gonna hook up the end of this circuit that I'm building right now to this light right here. Mike does. The cascading wave of entropy that changes everything it touches. It's a little lopsided, I gotta admit. It gets going fast. Like, I'm not worried about it throwing a magnet now, though. I'm worried more of it shaking everything off the table. Huh. Now what I can do, maybe later if I'm up to it, is get the spherical magnet out and maybe even use one of these little coils to try and spin it on. Just to, there's not doing that right now for sure, but maybe I should. And I really don't think it's going to balance. I don't think it will. Not the way it's built. I eyeballed this whole thing. I'm more likely build a new one than rebalance that one. But thanks, Roach. I do appreciate that. That is good insight. Yeah, it's not, well, we'll take it off there in a second. I'll show you what's wrong with it. It might be that the magnets aren't all the way in the holes. It could be a lot of things. It's not purposely off balance, if that's what you're asking. Oh, man. Okay. We want that for sure. That's a ceramic bearing. All right, so it's pretty rounded. I'm not sure that's what the problem is. It could be the bearing isn't perfectly aligned straight. This hole in the center might be a little messed up. Um, like the magnets are in holes. Okay, the magnets are 20 millimeters. The holes are 10 millimeters. So they stick out halfway, and some of them look like they might not be sticking out the same as others, which is, of course, not the way it's supposed to be. It's also a year old, man. I made this a year ago. And I've come a long way since then on how to build these and how to make magnets in there so they don't come out and all that stuff. And I still have a lot to learn. Oh, that's smooth. So there's two ceramic bearings in here. It's on a maglev if you saw that when I lifted it up. Two washer-sized magnets that are powerful. Yeah, I made a bearing like that one time, Mike. But currently I do not have pieces that will fit. But I do think that yeah, that sounds interesting. I think I missed most of that though, Mike. Uh, Over there playing with the thing. But yeah, and all the weight on this rotor is on the edge. It's on the outside. So I mean, this is very light. It's very hollow. It was, like I said, a previous prior, almost a year old that I built that, and I've seen the error of how this was built. Like putting a bevel in isn't necessarily important. Um, there's lots of things that I did that weren't important. And then the holes for the magnets they're pretty centered along, the horizontal axis, but the vertical axis, they're not so much. Yeah. So, and yeah, I will definitely look into all suggestions, probably at a later date. Um, Especially ones on how to build rotors, man. That I definitely need a more solid type of build. Even the ones where the holes are like, well, I don't know, man. The plastic, it can break easily around 3,000 RPMs, man. It's especially if your magnets are not um, snug. If they have room to move around, it's going to break at a high enough speed. All right, let me check and see how much juice we've got. Cool, we're on. We are on. We need this to hook to this. Now, having that other coil hooked up is going to change everything pretty much. Might like make it go away. I don't know what's going to happen. I haven't done any of this prior to turning on the stream, so All right, so that AC pulse is running through there. That's good. I like that. All right, so there it is on auto. That's sweet. Let's that's so cool. So we get a nice sine wave pronounced with our um our spike. That's cool, man. That is really cool. All right, moving along though, we're gonna connect the next SSG to the mess here. So now we're connecting the opposite coil, and this is the other trifilar. This is where it might like cancel each other out kind of thing that I'm worried about. All right, those are all long ones. So you don't want to mess with those yet. We need to save those. Heck yeah, like 3 days. Not that long, but I was watching this one thing on a flywheel. It was the guy who did God, I can't remember the name of the show. Mythbusters, Savage. He had a flywheel going that could like totally destroy a city like block if it got loose. It was a huge piece of aluminum. I'm pretty sure it was aluminum. So it was lighter than usual, but it was so big. Might have been steel. I don't know exactly. I think it was aluminum though. Anyway, it was really big and it spun really, really fast. And they had to like put blocks of wood on it to stop it for like hours. All right, so all right. And we're gonna hook the other end. Oh, this is the meter reading that I've been wanting to see really, really bad. All right. All right, we're gonna turn it on. We're gonna turn one on and then we're gonna turn the other one on. And I'm gonna try and look at it in the TV. Okay, there's one. There's two. Oh, look at that. That's beautiful. I mean, it's scary looking. Oh, I get that, man, but there's no reason why I need anything more than what I have right now. But I will look at it later. Those meter readings are freaking awesome. Freaking awesome. And I've been waiting a long time to see those. The double whammy readings, man. All right, we got the next. This one has 22,000 turns of 32 gauge in it. This where any current that is in the line is going to be subdued pretty much, but not really. What's going to happen, I believe, is that coil is going to end up getting hot and end up heating up because we got current coming from the SSG, whatever it is, milliamps, an amp or two altogether, whatever it is, it's going to heat up that coil because the current can't go through it. Yeah, I get it, but I don't understand why it applies to this. I don't have any equipment to build anything better than this, really. I'm going to print one better than this, but that's going to be like the extent of it, and maybe it'll go 3,000. I mean, my goal, my ultimate goal, and I'm going to take my effing time, but my ultimate goal is to get a 5,000 RPM rotor. Hell yeah. It's going to be dope. From a, what is that? Why do I? No. I'm not the person who like, oh, man. Personal satisfaction, a toy, not sure. I'm just giving you 2-word answers, bro. That's what I'm doing. You want to know something? Just ask. Sounds like you think you know something. All right, so I need to take my negative because that's what I was doing. Take this over here, attach it to the end of this coil. Put it right up here like that. Bada boom, bada bing. Oh man, I gotta show you guys. It was my first blunder. with the counter rotators. And I'm still going to use the design. But this is copper infused PLA, and magnets kind of grip copper. It kind of, and that'll hurt, that'll hinder any progress this will be in counter rotating because it'll sync up. But I'm going to build another one out of carbon fiber PLA, and we're going to see how that goes. Heck yeah, man. Yeah, that's how we do it. How'd you guess, man? How'd you guess? I don't know, man. Birds of a feather flock together. Takes one to know one. Lots of things, bruh. All right, let's see here. Look at that wave, man. That is spectacular. That is freaking cool, man. Let's see what that says. That says 120, 132, 124 volts of peak to peak. And the power is off. Dude, that is freaking awesome. Where do you want to look at? You want an aerial view? Does everybody want an aerial view now? Oh, of the wave. You know, I'll move it up for you. Oh, man. See, now everything. Hold on. I'll get out of the way in just a second. The clip came undone. Oh, you want me to move the camera? Well, then I'm going to do a complete aerial of everything. Because I'm not going to move the camera like twice really in consecutive. But here, yeah, let's get a close-up of this so that we can read it. Oh, it's slowed down significantly since I said that. But there, 80 peak to peak. No, I don't. They're all south facing, actually. That's actually the prettiest it's looked. I think it's because of the dual. Well, here, I want to show you guys it when I turn it on. We can look at those readings real quick. But I got to come over here to do that. Well, this is a 12-volt system, so we'll turn it up to 12 on both powers. It could be. One's older than the other. One I don't recall. The other is definitely counterclockwise. $202 peak to peak. Wow, this is really thrilling me. I have no idea. All right, let's back it out a little bit. Hold on, I gotta turn it down. So about 200 peak to peak volts. All right, that's all the way off, but I want to like change this real quick. There we go. See, I wish that the rotor. See, I don't think it really matters tremendously when you have 12 magnets for it to go so fast. Um, it would be I mean, make that much more power if it did, but 330 or something. It's mostly DC. That's correct. I haven't rectified any of the strands that we're monitoring right now, though. That's all AC. Or it's not rectified, I should say. I don't know if it's all AC. I don't. It feels like it's not, but it's definitely not rectified. Nice. So like a Tesla coil, or maybe even my pancake coil. There's lots of things, but I'm trying to think of smaller things. Oh, my mother-in-law, kind of, sort of, my my mom, quote unquote. Uh, that's cool. Yeah, maybe it'll be in the future here to create a three-phase motor. Uh huh. When I take a whole day to hammer out the freaking magnets and put them back in. Absolutely. Hopefully, it'll go smoother than a day. But that's what I'm guessing in my head. That it'll take at least a day of hammering. I don't know. It's Gorilla Glue, so I have no idea what would happen. But I could swap out every other one and put it north south. I know it's really easy to say, but I mean, a lot of people just don't understand. I'm sure you do, Mike. Understand how much work is involved with me changing that to north south. I'm sure you are well aware of that. Yeah, even every other, that's going to be harder. A lot harder. These are really powerful, dude. And I mean, they gave me a struggle putting them in, taking them out, and then I'm going to need to clamp them if they come together to get them apart. Um, I feel like I need to just build another one. I can see a lot of problems taking that apart. Mm. All right. So we actually have more to hook up. So I'm going to do that real quick. And we're going to change the wave yet again. And see, this is where you add all these coils and you wonder, is it going to remain cool? Is it going to remain more pristine sine wave, or is it going to change? And then once we hook this one up, we can hook the light up. Then we'll have 3 lights going. One will be a 15-watt bulb, and 2 of them will be 100-watt bulbs. So it's 215 watts. I'm sure more is coming out than just that. But that's at like full brightness. I doubt we're going to reach peak brightness. We'll see, though. I think it would be pretty easy to assess is if you put more voltage in and it doesn't get any brighter, then you've reached peak brightness. Current, though. Well, current, and if current doesn't make it brighter, you have absolutely made it to peak brightness. Oh, we don't need that. We need this. Okay. All right, this is an 18,000. Okay, let's give it a little juice. What are you talking, Mike? Heck yeah. Beans at that rate, man? Well, I mean, and you could get a big can of beans. A big old can. Now it's $1, whatever. Yeah, that's awesome. So it looks like a well over 300 volt spikes on our sine wave, peak to peak. 400. Holy cow, we got some. That's awesome because it's got the soft iron core in it. Hey, Brian, what's up? All right, power's off, and we're still getting roughly 400 volt spikes, man. That's freaking amazing. Oh, that's cool, Brian. We just been messing around. We're getting it all hooked up real quick. The series extension. I'm about to hook up the light bulb. So that wave right there is gonna illuminate this light over here. But we are going to remove the meter. I'm taking the meter off. I just hope this thing works. This whole apparatus might be malfunctioning. The lamp. So there's definitely a load on it. You can tell that. So we're at 12 volts in. Here, let me change this to this. Wow. All right, I'm going to let it run, build up for a little bit. I'm going to try and find a bridge rectifier because I shouldn't need one of those, but it tends to work better with one. I have not looked at the messages yet. Yeah, this lamp is not right. There it goes. I just had it hooked up backwards. And it's very dim currently. So I'm going to get it in perspective real quick. Waka. Haha. It works. Let's see if it stays lit. Not for very long. A little bit though. I'm gonna have to get another lamp that's not this lamp. I mean, it works, but I feel like there's a lot of resistance in there that doesn't need to be there. Maybe I could hook up the scope here to this and get a reading. I'm not sure that'll work. Alrighty. You saw how quickly it slowed down right there. If this light is on, it's going to instantaneously stop. Not instantaneously, but very quickly. Way different than just a second ago. Because like every coil on the rotor is a load when I turn this on. Yeah, I can build it differently. I just threw this together real quick. Heck yeah. We are getting a reading on there, and that's good. Haha. I mean, that's cool. What does that mean? All right, my man. Thanks for hanging out, Mike. All right, that's cool. Yeah, I don't know about this light lamp. It's all right. We're gonna do a different load. Just got to figure out what that load is gonna be. Yeah, we're gonna try and spin the ball with this little coil. I think we can do it. No, man, nothing like that is set up. And without a cap dump, man, this energy does not go well into a battery. It just doesn't. Not in my experience. Now I have basically two batteries that I can't use and I can't charge. And I have two perfectly good SG circuits here. So I don't know. I'm not, that's my experience. I'm not saying other people won't have a different experience. But I think I need a cap dump is really what I'm saying. I need that for it to work the way it's supposed to. And there's more to it than just a capacitor. So I might need to buy that. All right, we're going to hook it up. All right, so now if I think about this right, I'm going to use, oh yeah, I got the NMH and I have two SLAs, two SLAs. And the SLAs, yeah, sure, it'll charge up, but the minute you take all that stuff off of them, they power down. That's my experience. Without a cap dump, of course. I'm not even going to move forward without a cap dump with charging batteries. I got to, that's obviously a necessary, not necessary, but it makes it work more real. It's like, yeah, it went up 2 or 3 volts when I was charging it, but then it went back down 2.5, so it doesn't count. But I'm imagining if it like gets bursted in there, like with the cap dump, then it will remain charged. At least that's what I'm hoping. Oh, they were like brand new. They were like brand new, and I charged them with the SSG. Now I can't charge them any other way, and it doesn't work really well without a cap dump. So I need to get a cap dump. I'm not saying it doesn't work. I'm just saying it doesn't stay worked. All right, so I need to get this strand, or do I want to hook up the output? Hold on a second. Hold the phone, man. This is what we're going to do, and hopefully it'll work. Damn. That's all we got left. So we're going to go from this collector to the other collector, and we're going to put a diode in the middle. Okay. Yeah, I got a few different type of Zener ones in one of the combo packs. I'll check that out. But no, man, I'm not. It's cool. I'll check it out. Absolutely. Got to get. I think these are the nickel metal. Heck yeah, these batteries are cool too to do that with. Sweet. It means I have a lot of different options right now. But I got I got to like keep in mind. Because none of this would be conventional the way I do it. It's way blown out of proportionally the other way. Okay, so yeah, we want to do this. Then we want to clip this onto this. Then we want to clip this. To this collector. Boom, now this should have power. We'll put it down here on the collector. Nice, man. Insulated gate bipolar transistors. Very cool. Yeah, I don't use any drivers though, so I don't need them. Haven't even gotten into any driving stuff for MOSFETs. I know they're faster and everything, but this is just more my style. Got these little bad boys. Blew out almost every single one of those because I was trying to run it without a driver. All right. We need a few clips. We got the light. We're gonna hook up a 1, 2, 3 on this side. All right, so we got 1, 2, 3. So now we have our neon. Well, it's not neon, it's a halogen bulb, but it acts the same way. It's 120 volts of resistance. You just don't want those two clips to touch because then your resistance is shot, kind of. That thing is over there. So I kind of flipped this. That's all right, though. And I don't know necessarily if this little coil is going to work. I mean, Like I said, everything that we're doing right now, I have not predetermined whether it was going to work or not. All right. All right. So this is where it's going to get iffy for me. Like this, I believe, is going to be grounded to be put on the emitter of the mother circuit, basically. Okay. Yeah. I don't have a bunch of batteries either. I have 2 batteries that aren't charged right now. And I could get those out. Could change up the, well, I mean, just for changing it up, I'll go grab one right now. Maybe 2. Hi, Tiggs. All right. So instead of lights, we're going to use these. Mike, you going to support the channel, buddy? Because I'm pretty sure all this stuff you're talking about isn't cheap. And if it is cheap, it's freaking me out the way you're discussing it because it doesn't sound cheap. And I don't need anything that isn't cheap. All the way up the chain, man. It's all got to be cheap because I'm not rich. I will wear rubber, but it's not gonna be expensive. It's gonna be inexpensive. So yeah, definitely gotta wear a Jimmy hat when you're dealing with that inexpensiveness. All right, here we go. That's cool. I mean, yeah, that definitely sounds dope. But, 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 but. Maybe it'd be a good investment if I ever like had that kind of money to invest. I've invested all the money I'm gonna invest. Oh yeah, I remember now. I was doing this. We'll hook up the multimeter to one of the batteries to see what's going on with it. I'll check them both out before I get started doing this. Check those levels, man. All right, this is going to be pathetically low. It's all right though. See what we can do with it. Yep, 5.3. And I didn't use it to 5.3. Yeah, dude, I'm not. I mean, I understand that, but that's not what I'm trying to do here. I'm not. I don't even know what that is. I started off not knowing what it is. I still don't know what it is. I've gotten no use from the spike since I've started. Basically, I mean, we're gonna charge with it right now, but hopefully by the time this before the stream is done, I'm gonna show you what happens to all that. And of course, there's this thing about like what orientation the magnet should be. I found that the Hallback array is actually pretty fucking good, especially for what I like to use it for. And you can't, I will never, it doesn't matter what the math says, dude, I will never follow that line of exquisite replication. If I use the math, it'll be to create my own thing. So like I said, man, if it's gonna be if it's gonna be a rabbit hole, it's gonna be my rabbit hole. Right? I think we got it. What's going on with the battery, man? It just jumped up like 10 volts. Here, I'm gonna flip the switch on the generator switch. See, this is why I'm not even interested in it at all. Well, that's pretty cool. Mm. Yeah, amen, brother. Thanks, Brian. He's been trying to suck me into this freaking rabbit hole since he started, like, quote unquote, mentoring me. He's like, hey, we got him. We got him, guys. We got him. I don't know. I don't know if any of that's true, but it's been fun. Real lot of fun. But these batteries, I don't even know, man. So it's got to be battery to battery to battery. So I don't even have enough batteries to make this work. So I'm going to unplug it before I blow something up. So you got to use a battery to charge batteries. One thing. Not a power supply to charge a battery. At least it would make sense to me if I started off fresh with 4 batteries. Oh, here we go. There it is. So I will do that at my leisure. And my goal with that will be to use a fully charged 12-volt battery to charge this battery and itself with more batteries. So even though it's at 5, yeah, I don't know, man. If it's damaged, then it's fragile. I really don't like fragile stuff. But yeah, let's see if we can get this ball spinning. I'm more interested in that right now. All right, let's see which is which. That one's the right one, okay. Oh, wait a minute. So it doesn't look like the output. Well, yeah, I haven't hooked up the output yet. I'm going to do that next. Oh, here we go. All right. All right, let's do it again. See if we can get it this time. Using the direct output of the SSG. $12. Doesn't look like the output is going to work either. It's alright. I know it does work though. It's a direct connection to the SSG, and a direct connection to my circuit. 1, 2, 3, which is basically SSG minus a few components. Yeah, I need to, this needs its own power. So that, unfortunately, that isn't going to happen tonight. Yeah, I don't know, man. I smoke a lot of weed, and I don't know, man. Never seen Alice in Wonderland all the way through, man. It just didn't thrill me. said, that I don't know if I would ever let myself go down a path that I wasn't like, that I didn't want to be on. And it's cool that, yeah, I've been illuminated a tremendous amount since I started doing this. I've learned so much. Mike does. He was there in the beginning. Peter Hall Effect. I hope he's okay. We had Over Unity Research Channel. I hope he's doing all right. K Energy Store. 3D PPM. We got Nathan Old Man Builds. We got Benefactor. And these are just a few of the names in the niche, and they've all helped me out in one way or another. Thank you, guys. Got a guy called the Natrix. He drops in every once in a while. There's one thing you can be like certain about in the dark, and that is that you are not alone. So I just made all this like new space and everything, and I think I don't have enough space. So what I think is going on here is that the coil either might not be right, or the power might not be right. An SSG output isn't a solid stream of energy unless you make it that way. And I guess a better way to do that would be to use capacitors and rectifiers of some kind. And see, now that it's hooked up in series, definitely in a counterclockwise direction, yeah, we're gonna see. I'm gonna wager that that's gonna spin for quite a while longer. Now that it is all hooked up, but it's not loaded down. None of the ends are hooked up. It's just hooked up in series together, just laying there, open circuit. I don't know. It is a flywheel, so it's hard to determine whether or not that connection is helping out in any way. I would say it is, though. I bet if I spin it the other way, when it got this slow, it would slow down and stop instead of keep going. Hell yeah, man. Well, I like magnets. Magnets is my thing. If it doesn't have a magnet, it's not for me. It just is. I mean, I might go Tesla coil because I think it's cool. And I think, yeah, like the Tesla coils, they're cool, man. I'll go that route. With the pancake coil and maybe the tower, meeting tower of Pisa, something like that. But I'm really kind of leaning towards elevated transportation. And it's not for the cars really, it's for the infrastructure and how you could retrofit or incorporate the pieces of the infrastructure to all current existing automobiles and other forms of transportation that use the road. So instantaneously we go from here on the ground to up here, floating on Tesla coils, for God's sake. If you can polarize a Tesla coil, the energy that comes out of it, to create through resonance a physical north, like an actual magnetic north that will repel another magnetic north. And then it can be fine-tuned with software because it's built that way. But I mean, if you do it right, then this coil repelling this coil should be able to lift a semi, no problem. No problem. You get what I'm saying? I mean, if the Tesla coil can do that, that'd be the way I would do it. And have all the arcing and sparks going everywhere. Oh man, people would freak out. But yeah, that's what I'm talking about. That would work, something like that. Just get rid of the arcing. I mean, it's cool. Arcing is cool, but does it need to happen? Does it have to happen? Or can you get the same amount of power out of it without the arcing? I think the arcing is cool, but if you're going to use it in a practical sense, then you got to remove the arcing. And I know one guy that might know whether what I'm talking about is even possible. Well, maybe two guys, maybe three guys. Two of them are right here, man. Mike Does and Brian Burgess. Can a Tesla coil be polarized to repel a field of its same nature? Physically repel it, like push it away. Because I know that it radiates and it resonates. I know that. Oh, it's done. I don't even know. Did I stop that? I don't think I did. Wasn't paying attention though. Here we go. So, I mean, if you see how the table's shaking, where do you think where the imbalance is at in the wheel? Is it on the outside? Is it in where the magnets are placed? I bet it's where the magnets are. That's got to be it. Because it's the only thing that that I eyeballed that I could have screwed up. So, and since it's that, I got to remake it. Die Hard 2, when they're landing the plane, and he's like, "We got you, we got you," we got you. Oh man, that is a classic. scene from an epic era in movie magic. And I mean, not like the creative, like software stuff. I'm talking about like true acting, like film magic stuff, like back in the day, like early Star Wars stuff, using full scale, models instead of just CG everything. But I do know how it felt like Hollywood would have the lowdown on some stuff before everybody else did, and it actually happens. It actually pans out. I mean, it makes sense that the upper part of 1%, a lot of those people were in, Hollywood area, Beverly Hills. But when I was thinking about it, 1% is actually quite a huge amount of the population. Because, I mean, to be in that 1%, you don't have to make much money. So maybe it's the other way around. I don't know. It's just for some number crunching statistic that to be in the top 1%, you need to make about $32,000. Dude. All right. Good. Anyway, I think this stuff is really fun. I like doing this. There's no like set path that I'm supposed to follow. I mean, there might be a few things that I'm going to do with this. This is not, I am stronger than this. Okay? There's no gravity here. I enjoy doing it. That's about it, really. The batteries piss me off, so I don't care what they provide. Okay? I don't care what the bonus is for having them because they piss me off. They're finicky, they're fragile, and if you use them in this stuff, half the time they don't work right. So no, not my idea of a good time. I don't care what it provides. And I get it. I get it. That spike is huge. And maybe one day, if I become a billionaire philanthropist, I'll invest some money in a lot of batteries. And we can go to town with the experimentation. But I just made my last big purchase. It was a Christmas present for my family, basically for my kids. And that's it. I want it to be different, but right now it's just not any different. So I'll make a note of things that I'm supposed to be doing in the future. And we'll see about that. I'm not saying you're wrong by any means. if there is a progression to this that is natural, maybe I'll end up going down that path. But I seriously doubt it. You can tell by looking at the top of my rotor here that's spinning that this isn't all about the magnets even, you know. There's lots of stuff going on here. I just say yes to everything, and maybe I'll get around, but all I can say is maybe I'll get around to it. And that's kind of really all I'm saying. I just don't know how to say it. I'm like, yeah, I want to do all this cool stuff, but yeah, I'm not, it can't happen right now. So this is as good as it gets right now. I mean, this battery, both of these batteries are down to like 5 volts. And I bought a charger for them that won't charge them now. So I'm going to end up recycling them because they're pretty useless right now. All right, have a Merry Christmas, dude. It's been a blast. Maybe one day I'll get it down to the point where it's easy and it's just plug and play. But right now it's not. I mean, I kind of get it, but obviously not. But maybe sometime in the near future I'll get some more batteries. Merry Christmas. All right, so we're gonna turn on the situation here. Two Bedini SG circuits. Two 100-watt LED outputs. 12 magnet rotor. 40 millimeters by 20 millimeters round magnets. I've only seen like one guy with a bigger face magnet used for a pulse motor. So they're huge, man. They're good. They're going to do the job well beyond me to run a Bedini SG. And that well beyond is what we're looking into. And it's only like and I need to get a better lamp. It's only 100 milliamp draw. That's pretty cool. Now it's 200. Oh yeah, that's not hooked up. I don't even think it won't move barely at all. I found when testing that the 1, 2, 3 circuit is a lot like stronger. I don't know what it is, but it's got a lot more torque. And it doesn't appear to matter what coil that you're using, it has a lot more torque. And I think it's the lack of resistance in the 123 that the Vidini SG has a lot more resistance in it. Alright, but I guess that'll be good. So we're getting MetaQuest 3. We have a MetaQuest 3, but we're getting another one so that they can play together. Right. I'm going to crank it up one more time, get a tach reading on it. $270. $300. It's at $290, but by the time I cut it back, it's at $300. So it's really off balance. There's like no way around making another one. $300 is its max speed in my book. All right, Merry Christmas all. Have a good night. Thanks for hanging out. Bye now.